Just before the video starts, I want to re-emphasise that there are spoilers, and I don't exactly know when I say spoilers, but I know I say them throughout. So if you really did want to watch Season 2, I would already recommend you to do so, because unlike some seasons, Season 2 is actually a season that I can say a lot about in a good way, whereas some I'm just nitpicking at all the good parts that there aren't really many of. But I really would suggest you watch Season 2, or if maybe you feel like you'd rather just have spoilers and at least be understanding of what's going to happen and then watch it, or maybe just watch a bit for some spoilers. I mean, there's no spoilers for the end of the season, but definitely some deaths. But yeah. Yo guys, welcome to a new series that I want to call In Defense Of. In Defense Of is basically where I go through seasons of shows, mainly obviously Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead, and defend them. And because the channel's mainly Fear the Walking Dead, I want to do Fear the Walking Dead, and I thought, what's the best season to start with? And I thought Season 2, because it's a love-hate with some people, and I love it, if you saw my tier list video. I absolutely do love Season 2, and I just finished it on rewatch, and I have a bit more to say about it. And I thought, I'm going to do Season 2 to start with. These videos, I want them to be short, maybe about 5 to 10 minutes, just something that quickly gets to the point on why this is actually a good season of TV for the people that don't think so. And why even you should give it a watch yourself if you haven't. Maybe watch season 1 and then Season 2, or if you stopped at the start of Season 2, maybe convincing you to keep watching. But that's basically what this episode is about. So one thing I need to talk about is the pacing of Season 2. So Season 2's pace has been considered as slow. And an example of an episode is Grotesque. I forgot what episode exactly that is. I want to say it's about episode 10. Season 2, episode 9, episode 10. But it could be episode 8. But I think it's about from episode 8 to 9. And it's a slow-paced episode. Season 2 definitely gets a lot of hate for its pace at the start with the boat. And it starts picking up at Mexico with the odd couple of moments, for example, Grotesque, Do Not Disturb and Date of Death. Do Not Disturb and Date of Death are episodes with Travis and Chris. And they are compared to Madison and the Hotel and Nick and the Colonia, it definitely feels slower paced. But in defense of them episodes, sometimes the pace is needed. Like, Grotesque really just takes a moment with Nick to try get us to understand Nick and to see how he got where he did. Because if Nick just got to the Colonia, that probably wouldn't be the worst thing. But the episode Grotesque just fully emphasizes Nick, and it really tells us Nick is just a completely unique individual, and it further reasons why people think that Nick is the heart of fear. In addition to that, the episodes Do Not Disturb and Date of Death got rated 7.7 and 7.2, and they're the ones with the slower pace. So I still think that that's fantastic, the fact that these slower paced episodes have got decent reviews. They're not bad by any stretch of the imagination. People also think that the show, I kind of combining two ideas. People think that Season 2 isn't unique. They think that it follows the tracks of The Walking Dead, which I understand, but the boat part of the season, from about episode 1 to about episode 5, I think, people will say that that is slow and underwritten. But I don't entirely believe that. First of all, the whole boat is something so unique that we've never seen before. And almost each episode of The Boat feels like a different kind of problem or situation. And it really does keep things interesting. I understand that it doesn't stay on one thing. And because you have so many little things, if one of them doesn't work, then it can be boring. Whereas if you have one big plot, one big overarching arc, like the hotel arc, the Colonia arc, then that's going to keep people more engaged. But The Boat is really interesting. It deals with pirates. It deals with... I can't describe what it deals with, but there's this family, and there's this man that kind of wants to kill his family. I've forgotten a bit already, because literally that's just me. But his wife's gonna die. He's a bit of a crazy man that's all about... That gives me the impression of the end, and it's just another weird situation that you have to think of. These people that they will meet on the boat have very interesting and unique problems that we just won't see if we stay in one place. On the topic of places, Mexico is fantastic. even if you don't like season 2, or if you're someone that's in the middle, you can, the overall consensus is that season 2 picks up in Mexico. So I think the boat scenes are good. I think that each problem and what it deals with, especially the pirates, because that's just really unique for The Walking Dead. And even just overall, I think modern day pirates as well, in the apocalypse. I think that's really interesting. And the boat doesn't last too long. It doesn't last even half a season. So I really do believe that that's enough to keep you engaged. But on the topic of places, Mexico, everything gets good at Mexico. Like, it gets better than the boat. I'm not saying the boat's bad, but it gets better than the boat. I mean, where do I start? The Colonia arc is fantastic. The hotel arc is fantastic. Travis and Chris is not perfect, but I'm not doing any criticism here. It's interesting. It's not bad, and we really do get to see Travis and Chris, and it really re-emphasises Chris just being this crazy, muddled person, and it just all over the place. I'm speechless because I don't see how you can't like it. I am trying to make my ideas reasonable, but I just think that everything on Mexico is just... Because another complaint was that the show is underwritten and was too frustrating and had no risk. And I disagree. I think that at the end, when Luciana and Nick and the people all eventually leave, I think that's satisfying when Alejandro decides to sacrifice himself, or he's already dying, but decides to have the last move to kill off the warehouse. You know, I understand the frustration with Madison and some of the decisions she makes, but she's looking for a son. You know, I don't think that the show makes it clear that her decisions are wrong, but it doesn't matter anyway, because she'll make these decisions. We might be a bit frustrated that she turned on the hotel light, but at the end of the day, Alicia tells her that it's wrong. We all know she's wrong. Everyone else around her knows that Madison made a mistake during that, but it pushes the story on in a way that doesn't feel forced. It makes sense that Madison would get distressed and do something like that, and it somewhat works. With Travis, not Nick, but the whole concept of it kind of works. So, to finish, because I really don't want these videos to be long, I just want to make it a quick video to kind of convince you to watch Fear the Walking Dead Season 2. I'm going to go over some dead quick bullet points. So first of all, the last 2 episodes, especially Wraith, are some of the best episodes in the Walking Dead universe. Wraith is one of my personal favourites. Travis going sicko mode. Alicia finally becoming someone that isn't weak. It's fantastic. Wraith and North, the last 2 episodes are absolutely fantastic of this season. Fear the Walking Dead Season 2 is eccentric. It's interesting, it's different, and it's eccentric. And you should never ever forget that, no matter whether we're on the boat or in Mexico. It finds its footing. Basically, Season 1 kind of didn't find its footing. It did, because it made a point that it was early in the apocalypse and it was going to have a different take. But Season 2 really does hint towards Dave Erickson's original view of the Clark family becoming the villains, and it really does find its footing in that way. There is a looming threat. People said that this season didn't have any risks. I think I said that before. But of course there's risk. I mean, Chris gets killed off. Daniel is supposedly dead. We find out in Season 3 he's not. But, you know, Daniel and Chris may be dead. When the kids eat that man's pills and kill themselves by accident, that's horrible. The pirates and, like, the betrayal of Madison and Chris, you know, Chris being Chris is dangerous. And then Chris killing the brother, and so everyone having to go out and give the brother of the pirate back dead as a walker is, you know, the show does have risk, and it does do things that can put tense on you. So, I don't know if I got my points across very well. I was just really trying to just get everything out, because there's more I could say. But I definitely, I might come back to this and redo it. But I just wanted to short a video, just quickly discussing everything and really kind of overwhelming everything. Of course, there is spoilers, but I still believe that if you haven't watched it, you should. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time in a bit.